Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're embarking on, well, a truly captivating journey. We're going to be peeling back the layers of a literary masterpiece.
A real titan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Often hailed as one of the greatest novels ever written. We are diving into Leo Tolstoy's monumental War and Peace.
And based on the sources and documents you've shared with us, our mission for this deep dive is, well, it's not just to trace the grand historical sweep, the Napoleonic Wars and all that,
Right.
but to really try and understand the intimate human dramas unfolding, especially right there in its early pages.
What makes it so enduring? That's the question, isn't it?
Exactly. And what surprising, maybe profound insights can we uncover right from its very genesis from the start.
Okay, so get ready to be transported.
Yeah.
We're talking glittering ballrooms, really tense battlefields, and incredibly complex personal lives, all seen through Tolstoy's unique and often, let's be honest, revolutionary lens.
Yeah.
It's a story of ambition, deep love, brutal war, and those unexpected twists of fate that, well, they bind us all together, don't they?
Yeah.
So where does an epic like this even begin? How does it start?
Well, the origins are pretty fascinating, actually. Our sources indicate that Tolstoy, even when he was just 28.
Wow, so young.
Yeah, really young. He was already contemplating what would eventually become War and Peace. This was way back in 1856.
And he was already known as a writer then.
Oh, yeah, definitely a respected writer. But curiously, his newer works at that specific time weren't quite landing with the impact he wanted,
Ah, okay.
So this led him to kind of retreat to his family estate, Yasnaya Polyana.
Right.
And he spent years there publishing very little, actually.
Huh. Like a quiet period?
Sort of, but that period of, let's call it quiet contemplation, it wasn't really idleness. It was more like a crucible for his creativity.
I see.
What's truly remarkable, as our documents show, is how his vision for this immense project really reignited after his marriage.
To Sophia Burrs, right?
Exactly. Sophia A. Burrs in 1862. It was just months later, actually, February 1863, that Sophia herself wrote to her brother. And she just said, simply, Lev has started a new novel.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. That single sentence, you could say, marked the real spark, the thing that ignited this colossal work.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Our documents reveal that this masterpiece wasn't even called War and Peace for a lot of its creation.
No, that's right.
The title actually changed 3 times. Can you imagine the confusion for readers, booksellers?
Well, totally. So in 1865, the introductory part was published as 1805. Pretty descriptive, I guess.
Very literal, yeah.
Then by 1866, it had morphed into All's Well That Ends Well.
Okay, bit more literary.
A bit, yeah. But it wasn't until 1867 that it finally settled on War and Peace.
And wasn't there something else? Another book with the same title?
You got it. Funnily enough, another book by Prudhomme, same title, had just been published in Russia. Talk about a coincidence, right? And the actual full publication of Tolstoy's work, it spanned 2 years, 1867 to 1869, released in 6 volumes.
6 volumes. It's huge.
It is. And it's not just the evolving title that's surprising. It's Tolstoy's own kind of radical view of his own creation.
How so?
Well, he steadfastly refused to call it a novel. He actually articulated that it defied the conventional definition.
What did he mean by that?
He said, look, it doesn't follow a single thought, it doesn't showcase one specific thing, or tell just one singular story, which he believed a novel, required.
Interesting. So breaking the mold even then.
Totally. He even went so far as to suggest that readers could just pick up any part and read it, without needing to have read the bits before.
Seriously, just jump in anywhere.
That's what he suggested. This wasn't just like artistic eccentricity. It was a deliberate challenge to the literary norms of the time. It really reflected his belief that life itself isn't some neat linear narrative.
That's a powerful statement about storytelling itself, isn't it?
It really is.
And speaking of challenging conventions, he made some truly bold choices in the text itself, like Napoleon.
Ah, yes.
He has him speaking both Russian and French, right? Often swapping between them.
Yeah, interchangeably sometimes. And Tolstoy defended this. He said it was absolutely essential for accurately portraying such a complex, sort of multifaceted character.
Makes sense. And wasn't there something about the names, too? The Russian family names?
Good point. Yes, another clever move. He deliberately crafted names that sounded really familiar to the Russian aristocracy. Bolkonsky, Drubetskoy, Kuragin, Bezukov, Rostov.
They sound authentic.
Exactly, but they weren't actual real historical figures. This allowed him to seamlessly weave these fictional, deeply personal lives right into the authentic historical tapestry of the era.
Creating this unique blend of fact and invention.
Precisely. And that blend is absolutely key to understanding his broader philosophical stance on history itself.
Okay, tell us more about that, his view on history.
Well, our sources really emphasize Tolstoy's deeply critical view of conventional historical accounts, particularly military descriptions.
He didn't trust them.
He saw them as inherently flawed, often containing, in his words, unavoidable lies and exaggerations. He famously argued that the so-called great men like Napoleon actually held very little importance in the grand sweep of historical events.
Wow. Okay, that's controversial, especially then.
Definitely. He used this striking analogy. He likened it to a giant, impenetrable mountain collapsing just because a single laborer delivered the final blow.
Ah, so the last tap doesn't mean that one person caused the whole collapse.
Exactly. It implies the absurdity, in his view, of attributing massive, complex events solely to the actions of one single individual. It's a powerful counter-narrative to that traditional hero worship.
It invites you to look beyond the leaders, maybe.
Yes, exactly. To consider the countless smaller forces, the individuals, the collective movements at play.
So if the great men aren't driving history, according to Tolstoy, what is?
Well, perhaps the answer lies in the lives of ordinary people caught up in these extraordinary times.
Which brings us, I suppose, right to the opening scenes of the book.
Perfectly. Our sources plunge us directly into the heart of Russian aristocratic society in 1805. We find ourselves inside Anna Pavlovna Scherer's glittering salon in St. Petersburg.
Okay, the famous salon scene.
That's the one. This is where we first encounter the characters whose intricate lives will soon intertwine with those monumental historical events that Tolstoy wants us to really understand.
And Anna Pavlovna herself, what's she like?
Well, she's a fascinating mirror to this whole society. She's portrayed as a woman whose excitement feels almost performative. Often stemming purely from her social standing, she maintains this somewhat forced smile.
Right, playing the part.
Very much so. But her opinions are strong, even fiery, especially about Austria. She declares they never want a war, isn't wanting it now, and she emphatically promotes Russia's role as the sole savior of Europe.
Against Napoleon, presumably.
Yes, destined to crush the revolution dragon, as she puts it, personified by Napoleon. Her salon isn't just a social gathering, it's really a stage. Political posturing, social maneuvering, it's all expertly performed there.
And into this tightly choreographed world steps Prince Vasily, right?
Yes, a key figure. He makes this grand entrance adorned with medals, speaking fluent French, completely unfazed by all the attention.
Just owns the room.
Pretty much. And he's not there just for polite chat. He's there to discuss appointments, even subtly pushing for some Baron Funky for a high position in Vienna.
Ah, so straight to business, behind the pleasantries.
Immediately signals that this society, despite its glittering facade, is utterly driven by influence, power, and well-calculated self-interest.
And we quickly see the relationships forming, or maybe the plotting.
Oh, absolutely. What's truly striking is how quickly we're introduced to the complex social web woven around Prince Vasily. Anna Pavlovna, ever the social architect, openly flits over his children.
Right, Helene and Anatole.
Exactly. His beautiful daughter Helene is adored, apparently, but his son Anatole is clearly disliked by Anna Pavlovna. And we immediately hear discussions about marriage arrangement.
Matchmaking already.
Instantly. Anna Pavlovna is trying to orchestrate a match between Anatole and the introverted Princess Maria. Others are gossiping about the recent marriage of the little princess Liza to Prince Andrei.
It paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? A society where alliances, fortunes, futures, they're decided less by love and more by these strategic connections.
Precisely. It's all very calculated.
And then, disrupting this polished, very French-speaking world, steps Pierre Bezukov.
Ah, Pierre. Yes. He's described as both shy and somehow boldly out of place.
How so?
Well, there's that truly awkward moment early on. He shocks the entire gathering by defending Napoleon, calls him a great soul.
Whoa. Yeah, 1805 Russia. That's brave.
Or foolish.
Deeply controversial, definitely politically charged. And later, in another moment of sort of social clumsiness, he tells this rambling, pointless anecdote in Russian after everyone else has been speaking French.
Oh dear. It's a brilliant portrait, though. A well-meaning but socially completely inept outsider.
Yeah, you feel for him.
You do. And amidst all these glittering conversations and social calculations, there's also this palpable undercurrent of intrigue, particularly concerning the precarious situations of some characters.
Like Prince Vasily and the Dying Count.
Exactly. Prince Vasily's opportune visit to the dying Count Bezukov, who is Pierre's father, it isn't just a friendly call. It really hints at a much deeper, more self-serving plot unfolding behind the scenes.
An inheritance struggle.
It suggests a fierce struggle for inheritance and control of a vast fortune. The scent of old money and ambition just hangs heavy in the air. It's quite intense.
So from the constrained elegance, maybe the calculation of St. Petersburg, we shift to Moscow.
Yes, a different vibe, to the more boisterous, maybe more open world of Moscow, where we meet the vibrant Rostov family.
Or Rostovska.
Here, the Countess, despite their lively home, harbors worries about their finances. She subtly reveals that not everything is rosy in her life. There's a vulnerability there.
And the children. Nikolai and Natasha.
Young Nikolai is just bursting with youthful vigor. He yearns to join the military, rejects any other path diplomacy, civil service, flat out declaring he's good for nothing else.
Full of passion.
Totally. And his sister, Natasha, she embodies this spirited, carefree innocence, dancing with joyful abandon, humorously declaring she wants to marry no one.
Even though she's teased about Boris.
Even then, they represent a different, perhaps more emotionally honest side of the Russian aristocracy compared to what we saw in Petersburg.
But then the story takes a darker turn again, back to the dying Count Bezukov.
Yes, and just as we meet the Rostovs, the narrative takes this mysterious and dramatic turn back to Count Bezukov's deathbed. The tension around his will becomes almost unbearable.
Prince Vasily is still scheming.
Oh, relentlessly. Ever the opportunist, he's trying everything to manipulate the situation, to secure the Count's vast fortune for himself and his family. He's driven by this fear that the Count's potential will might benefit someone else.
Pierre, perhaps?
Perhaps. If Anna Mikhailovna, a distant relative, she's equally determined, fiercely vying to secure a position for her son Boris and ensure her family gets a share of the inheritance.
It culminates in that scene with the bag, right?
A truly gripping scene. It involves a mosaic bag and this desperate struggle over what appears to be a crucial document, the Count's will itself. It's incredibly tense.
And the echo.
The dramatic payoff is immense. In a shocking development, Pierre, the awkward, illegitimate son, unexpectedly inherits everything. He becomes Count Bezukov overnight, instantly one of Russia's wealthiest men.
How does society react?
Our sources vividly depict the immediate and frankly rather astonishing shift in society's attitude towards him. Suddenly, every marriageable daughter and her ambitious mother is vying for his attention.
Amazing.
It's a stark, almost humorous illustration of the sheer power of wealth and status in this society, and how quickly perceptions can just flip.
So from drawing rooms and deathbeds, we're thrown into the war itself.
Abruptly, yes. We're plunged into the harsh realities of the 1805 campaign in Austria. The Russian army is on the move, facing Napoleon's formidable forces.
And we meet Kutuzov.
We witness General Kutuzov, the seasoned commander, inspecting his troops, his emphasis on discipline and appearance, even during a road march inspection. It speaks volumes about the meticulous, yet maybe often bureaucratic, nature of military command compared to the brutal reality on the ground.
And who else do we meet on the front lines?
Tolstoy introduces us to a diverse cross-section of military life. We meet Captain Timohin, a brave, experienced officer known from the Battle of Izmail. He represents quiet duty, resilience.
Okay.
Then there's Dolokhov. Remember him?
From the salon? No, wait. Ah, the demoted soldier.
That's him. Demoted, blonde, blue-eyed. He embodies this complex, almost defiant nature. He refuses to drink or gamble until he regains his rank, declaring he needs nothing from anyone, prefers to act for himself.
A real contrast to the social climbers.
Huge contrast. And then there's the cynical wit of Zhirkov, another officer who seems to make light of the dire situation. It reveals how different individuals cope with the absurdity and brutality of war.
And Prince Andrei. He went to war seeking purpose, didn't he?
Yes, seeking purpose beyond society's superficiality. But for him, this campaign quickly brings profound disillusionment.
How so?
He's enraged by the casual jokes about the recent massacre of 40,000 Allied soldiers. He asserts, that they are either loyal officers serving their czar and fatherland or simply worthless servants. No in between.
He sees the chaos firsthand.
The chaos, the disorganization, the moral compromises of war. He encounters Bilibin, a witty diplomat,
Oh, Bilibin.
who offers these sarcastic critiques of military blunders, most notably that infamous Tabor Bridge incident.
Right, the bridge. And explain that again. It's such a crazy story.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Dark French marshals waving white flags managed to convince an Austrian general, Prince Auersperg, that an armistice had been signed.
So they just let him cross.
They let them cross a vital bridge unopposed. André condemns this as outright treason. But
Bilibin has a different take.
cynically, he dubs it MAC, a new word, he quips, for utter incompetence, referring to the recent Austrian General Mack who surrendered his entire army at Ulm.
So Mac became shorthand for epic failure.
Pretty much. A darkly humorous jab at a catastrophic defeat. It shows how cynicism can sometimes be a coping mechanism when faced with such absurdity.
But André isn't cynical like that, is he?
No, that level of cynical pragmatism is a stark contrast to André's idealism. He recalls Napoleon's taunting words about the Russian army, which only steels his resolve. He wants to prove himself, even if it means dying.
That internal drive pushes him forward.
It does. And we're then transported to this chaotic, visceral battle scene. Soldiers are punished for stealing. Russian and French lines are so close they can see, even speak to each other.
Dolokhov is there.
Dolokhov, defiant as ever, shouts across the lines that Russians do not surrender.
It's in this chaos that Schöngraben begins.
Yes. The Battle of Schöngraben begins. Cannons roar. Prince André rides directly towards the smoke, witnessing the true, terrifying, disorganized nature of war.
But there's heroism, too. You mentioned Captain Tushin.
Ah, Captain Tushin. A truly unforgettable character emerges here. Small, kind-faced artillery officer. In an act of quiet, almost accidental heroism, he single-handedly holds his battery even as others retreat.
His forgotten battery.
His forgotten battery, exactly. It successfully ignites fires, delays the French advance, and buys precious time for the crucial Russian retreat.
Incredible.
And it's not just Tushin. Timohin's company, remember him, the resilient captain. His unit maintained order in the forest, a rare thing, and then launches a fierce counterattack, turning the tide, pushing the French back.
It highlights Tolstoy's point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
True heroism often resides in these quiet, uncelebrated acts of ordinary men.
Absolutely. It's not about the grand strategy always.
And so all this sets the stage for
Yeah.
Austerlitz.
Yes.